Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Help on the Way podcast, where we are featuring July 31st, 1971 at the Yale Bowl. That's in Yale University, New Haven, Connecticut. I believe the Yale Bowl is where we get the concept of bowl games, and it is bowl season. And to introduce someone who knows a lot about bowls, Knob.
Thank you. That was very good. Hello, dear listener. Welcome to the Help on the Way podcast holiday spectacular, which is to say, this is an episode of the Help on the Way podcast that comes out on December 26th.
Yay!
What did you get for the holidays?
You got a free Grateful Dead show that we will put at the end of this podcast. Before
I just got socks.
Before we talk about July 31st, 1971, let's talk about a big event that happened in Grateful Dead world just a couple weeks ago that was aired this past weekend. This is the Kennedy Center Honors. And this was aired on CBS, I believe, yesterday. We're recording this on Monday, the 23rd. And Knob, I believe, actually caught that. I did not. So let's go to Knob for some intrepid reporting.
Hello. It's been happening. We've been covering the Kennedy Center Honors on this podcast for what feels like a decade and a half. But they're finally over. It happened.
It's been produced.
I thought it was a well-done show.
Nice.
It was a nice assortment of musicians. I thought the speeches from Miles Teller and Chloe Sevigny and David Letterman were all very nice. That's in a wild assortment of three people to have in the same room.
I know one of those three people.
Really? You don't know Miles Teller?
I don't know Miles Teller. He's an American actor.
David Letterman? He hosted a TV show for a very long time, for a while.
I should be aware of that. Actually, funny story. My aunt, who's kind of in the Grateful Dead world, or at least, Miles Teller is an Eagles fan. His whole
Philly.
Wikipedia shtick is Eagles and Philly stuff. Yeah. Anyway, my aunt reached out to me and asked me if I had watched the Kennedy Center Honors, and I said, unfortunately, no. She goes, "Do you know anything about this frog in a glass of milk?"
Yes. Letterman brought that up, and I watched it today. I rewatched it with my partner, and I do turn to her and go, "Yeah, no, that's just a thing Bob says sometimes."
Yeah, and he said it specifically one time on the David Letterman show in 75 or something like that.
87.
Okay, whatever.
Letterman was not on the air in 75. He starts late night in 1983, man. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. Let's move on. We're going to edit that part out.
It was, sorry.
Edit that out. Let's put a cut right there.
I've been described as a Gen Xer trapped in the body of a Zoomer.
I watched a lot of Letterman growing up. It was like the cool thing to watch on the way to watching Conan. That was pretty much my Letterman experience.
True. I watched Letterman. That was the first late night show my parents let me watch because Paul McCartney was the guest.
Oh, nice.
When he was playing on the marquee of the Ed Sullivan Theater, and
it's amazing. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I watched it with the purpose of watching the Paul McCartney part, and then I just watched all of the late night TV parts, and then the Pulp performance happened, and I was like, yeah, all right, that was cool. And then I would just tune into Letterman at age 10. I think I'm 10 in this story. I don't know. That's a little trip down memory lane for me and David Letterman.
Yeah. It's good TV while it lasted.
Yeah.
So he told the frog. So how did he just mentioned that? Was that just an aside? Like, I was surprised my aunt actually reached out to me about it, but
it was part of his speech. He was just talking about how when he asked Bob what touring was like, Bob said that it was more fun than a frog in a glass of milk.
Right.
And everyone chuckled at that. I thought that was very nice. The music was all very good. The songs were a little short. They definitely they were trying to pack in, 4 or 5 songs in the span of about 10 or 15 minutes. So
Right.
it was a little truncated. Friend of the Devil, I think, clocked in under 2 minutes. But sounded very nice. Maggie Rogers and Leon Bridges sounded great on that. And Rick Goose had a very nice little guitar solo. I thought the highlight of the night was the Ripple performance.
Nice.
The first part of it was they used video and audio of Jerry from the Radio City Music Hall shows.
Very nice. Warfield.
And then had the band play along.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I've seen a similar thing. I saw the Who do their Quadrophenia tour in 2013.
Oh, I saw that tour.
Yeah.
Where'd you see them?
Was it at Ranger Stadium, Prudential Center? Where is it?
I saw them in Atlantic City.
Okay. Maybe that's where that is where I saw him. Yeah.
Wait,
I was at that show.
You and I were at the same show in 2013?
That's crazy. Yeah, I was
that's
there.
Nuts.
That's the first time I ever smelled weed being in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Of the Who concert. I remember this man who, in retrospect, was clearly stoned as a bone or something, but he was standing at the urinal and he just kept yelling as if he was announcing the show. He just kept going, "Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest band in the world, The Who."
Oh well.
Ladies and gentlemen, just over and over, the greatest band in the world, The Who. Anyway, that's so all of that to say, you've seen the same show where they do the same effect of playing Keith Moon's vocals over Bellboy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
A video of him doing that.
And they had a John Entwistle moment as well.
Exactly. Yeah. I thought that was very well done. I honestly thought Sturgill Simpson and Graham Lesh sang the rest of it, and they both sounded very good. But truth be told, that could have just been the Jerry video and audio, and I'd have kind of been captivated. The Not Fade Away was really fun. Derek Trucks gets to rip a nice mean solo, and that to me was the most fun part because that's when they get the most audience shots. So you just get to see like Julia Louis-Dreyfus doing the jam band wiggle,
Nice.
And that was very fun to watch. But yeah, I thought the Kennedy Centers were well done all in all. It was definitely, the songs were truncated, but that's what they were always going to be.
Sure.
Also, Queen Latifah sounded great on Shakedown Street. That was
I want to hear that.
Show, but that sounds great.
Rad.
It was really cool. And Martin Scorsese told some very fun stories about Francis Ford Coppola, but that's a different part of the evening. That's interesting that they're actually, now that I think about it, being inducted at the same time with Kreutzmann and Hart having done the music for Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
That's something I've just thought about. Anyway, let's move on to the show.
Didn't the Beam come out of that episode as well? So
yes.
Almost like a creation of a new band member, almost.
It's true.
The one thing I'll mention, because I did miss out on the airing of the Kennedy Center Honors, I just haven't had time to take a look at it. This was something that a Redditor put on that was Hard 420. Grateful Dead, a Redditor on the Grateful Dead subreddit, Hard 420, a photo tribute to the Grateful Dead members who went unmentioned at the Kennedy Center Honors. And I think some of the unmentioned part that's a little extreme because there was some mentioning throughout the whole weekend. But some big ones, and I think this is to your point, Knob. I'm just going to kind of go through this photo tribute. Pigpen. Now, Pigpen was mentioned by Biden. I read Biden's speech. He mentioned Ron McKernan, who was Pigpen. Tom Constantin, probably want to mention completely. Keith Godshaw, probably want to mention completely. No longer with us, but Donna was.
Yeah.
Donna could have been there. I really am curious as to what that was about.
Yeah.
Brent.
Finally. I've been on this soapbox all alone for weeks and weeks. It's glad to have you here with me. Give her the freaking medal.
I mean, she was there for quite some time. And then, like, you talk about, the Kennedy Center is all about American performers and, the cultural.
Yeah.
The cultural moments that they made, and Cornell, the Cornell show is literally saved in the Library of Congress for posterity, and Donna was literally front and center in the Cornell show.
Yeah, it's interesting. The whole thing kind of seemed to center around that quote unquote original lineup of the Grateful Dead. Obviously,
Right.
Mickey joins a couple years later than everybody else, but that 67, 68 first album.
Kind of.
Is Mickey on the first album? I don't remember off the top of my head. Maybe not. But that period, that lineup of the Dead kind of seemed to be what was the focus,
Right.
and everything
Yeah,
that came after was sort of.
I think when you like in the Zeitgeist, people thinking of the Grateful Dead, I think they nailed them. I think they're right. Like that is the core members.
It's true.
Or at least surviving members, right? And then you kind of get into the fandom, and the fandom I think recognizes a lot more. And a lot of them unfortunately have passed away, but Donna has not. So yeah,
A lot of it too
I think I'm with you.
Is the activeness they have remained in the Grateful Dead scene. Donna is still around, but she is not as
True.
actively part of the post-Dead bands quite like Bill and Mickey and Bob. And obviously they were around the longest.
Yeah.
I don't begrudge them. It's I know it's a lot of people in the Grateful Dead, but they could have given Donna the medal. Anyway.
Yeah. Brent obviously no longer with us, but apparently one I mentioned.
Yes.
Although I think someone said they saw a montage and there was a picture of Brent, but that's unfortunate. Vince Welnick no longer with us and probably not mentioned.
No.
Someone mentioned Bruce Hornsby. I don't consider him a member of the Grateful Dead. What are your thoughts on that?
He's not. Well, okay. I just watched the episode of Veep where this comes up. I don't know if you've watched Veep.
I've watched some of Veep.
Okay.
This specifically came up on Veep.
Yeah, there's an episode where Kent is speaking to Dan on the phone, and then he just quickly, as an afterthought, goes, "On the air, you referred to Bruce Hornsby as a member of the Grateful Dead. He was a touring member from 1990 to 1992. He never officially joined the band." But no, Bruce Hornsby never considered himself a member of the Grateful Dead.
Right.
Bruce
I don't think
Hornsby
that's
was
true
not
with
inducted
Bruce.
in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the Grateful Dead. He was the one who inducted the Grateful Dead. He's a friend of the band. And he could, if he wanted to, he could consider himself a member of the Grateful Dead. But he never, as far as I know, he is a touring member of the Dead.
Yeah. No, I dig that. Okay, so let's get into the weekly show. This is July 31st, 71. A very long show, 2 sets, a double encore. Let's get into it. We start off with a Truckin. We get a Sugaree, Mr. Charlie, Mama Tried, Big Railroad Blues, Hard to Handle, Loser, Playin In The Band, into Dark Star, into a bird song. And then El Paso, and they end things off set 1 with Bobby McGee. Now, why don't you start? Because I think you kind of, since you read the economic history of the Grateful Dead, you might have something to say about this show. This is a big show for the Dead, right?
Yes, this is, at the time, this would have been the biggest show, the biggest venue the Grateful Dead had played. They will obviously play bigger venues in their career, but at this point in 1971, the Yale Bowl held, I'm looking for the page right now. I want to say it's about 16,000 people.
That's a big one.
It is. It's absolutely a big one. Yeah, 13,000 people. It would be surpassed about a year later at Roosevelt Stadium. And then
wait. So I'm gonna stop you because according to Wikipedia, Yale Bowl Stadium.
Yes.
Home of the Yale Bulldogs. Go Yaleys. Opened 110 years ago, 1914, with 70,000 seats.
Okay. Well, 13,000 tickets were sold.
So they're doing pretty good.
I'm willing to guess that maybe not all the sections were. That might be during a football game where all parts of the stadium are being used and such.
Maybe like they did a half or something. Because there was a moment where
Nassau Coliseum, and they had blocked off the whole top half of the stadium.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Go
ahead.
Anyway, I was just gonna get into the music if we have more thoughts on the Yale Bowl. Anyway, this is a good show. I think it's a very good show. It's a very interesting show in the context of this is the Grateful Dead as a 5-piece. It is Jerry, it is Bob, it is Phil, it is Pigpen, it is Bill. Mickey Hart has left the band, and Keith and Donna are yet to join the band. It's a very interesting time for the Dead. It's a little raw. It's a little grittier, because it kind of has to be. They're making up for losing some of their players. I think this show, I do think the size of the venue has made the band a little nervous at the top of the show.
I felt that same way. It was palpable.
And I think some of it was like they were still nailing down getting their equipment and the sound just right. But there was a hesitancy that you don't quite often get with 71 Dead. To me, this show really comes alive at Dark Star. That to me was the point that I felt, okay, the Dead feel really comfortable now. But the Truckin to open is pretty nice. I think it takes a second to click, but once it starts, it has a nice little bounce. It kind of falls apart in the bridge with the harmonies, and then as soon as they have to stop singing harmonies, it sounds better. Sugaree is good. What is worth noting here is this is the first ever Sugaree. And I think that's a very interesting choice to play as the second song in the biggest venue you've ever played. But that's the Grateful Dead to me. It's a very sparse but grooving Sugaree. It's very close to what you hear on the Garcia album, which would have been recorded right around this same time. It's nothing too crazy musically, maybe a little bit faster than we're used to, but it proves itself very well. It's a very nice Sugaree. We then get another debut right after that in the form of Mr. Charlie. I think it moves and grooves. It's a little rough around the edges for sure. The thing that is most interesting to note here is that there is no bridge to Mr. Charlie yet. Normally there is that, "Bon, well, you take your silver dollar, bon, bon, take your silver dime." And he sings those lyrics, but over the verse melody, which is very interesting.
Yeah, I was noticing something was different.
Yeah, and I think that the song definitely needs that bridge because the way the bridge functions for the Dead is that is what takes them at least out of the solo section. That's how everyone knows, okay, we're done with Jerry soloing. Bum, bum, bum. And without having that, you could kind of hear towards the end of Mr. Charlie, there was a little confusion and miscommunication about where they were going. But it was good. It rocked. And Jerry was on fire, but you'll definitely hear some better Mr. Charlies. But it proves itself for a first showing. Mama Tried is nice. Big Railroad Blues rocks in a nice, like, grungy way. It rips and it roars. It's probably the first song that made me really think, like, hell yeah. And then Bob spills coffee on his guitar. I was
surprised by that.
I was listening to all the banter on this one because they said some fascinating things throughout the show. But Bob spilling coffee on his guitar this early on was pretty funny. Now, the tape I listened to had these songs in a slightly different order, so I'm just going to say it as I heard it. Playin In The Band was short but sweet. It was nice hearing Pig jumping between tambourine and the güero. I do think it sounds a little hollow without Donna. Spoilers for set 2, didn't feel that way about Sing Me Back Home, but I did miss her on Playin In The Band. Dark Star is very interesting at this time period with the Dead. To me, Dark Star, especially in the era of Tom Constantin, was so dominated by keys, and especially with Mickey there, was so dominated by the polyrhythms that the drummers would introduce. This is a version that has, Jerry and Bob and Phil, and then Bill on his own, and Pigpen, who is not a bad keyboard player by any stretch, but he's not the strongest keyboard player. So it is a very, very guitar-heavy Dark Star. Until Bill and Phil start to take the reins. And that, to me, is when everything kind of starts to click tonight. It has a nice grit, but it's also able to get very spacey and weird, and it builds to a really nice feeling groovy jam, at which point it stays really cool. And then the transition into Birdsong is great. A very nice 71 Bird song, which is more intense, more drum heavy. It sounded really good. I really liked it. The Jerry was playing a lot with country inspired solos on non-country songs, and I feel like you can hear that very hard in Birdsong. El Paso is a pretty standard 71 El Paso. They're still doing it pretty much at Marty Robbins' tempo. They will start to pick it up in 72, and truth be told, that's when it clicks more. I do think this El Paso comes together. It takes a couple of minutes to get going, but then they can really get into it. It's got a nice sense of build. Also, I have to... Okay, he did it again. Bob, he called Pigpen the dog sucking his man in show business again. I was listening to the show. My partner was over. We were listening to the show. She had already heard me ramble about the last time he called Pigpen the dog suckingest man in show business. And I felt like I was having a stroke because surely those weren't the words that he said in that order. And then he says it again.
It must have been like an inside joke or something.
It's gotta be.
Like that one time that Pigpen sucked off a dog.
Yeah. Oh, we all remember that one.
There was acid involved, you know. It was the 60s, man.
Anyway,
Sorry.
we then get to Loser, at least on my tape, which had a fun groove to it. The harmonies were tight, and a really ripping Jerry solo. I thought it was a pretty great early Loser. And then me and Bobby McGee here, the band is firing on all cylinders. Billy is really killing it. The solo really reminded me of a Playin In The Band jam. And then, especially, it sounded like that's what Bob was teasing in his little underscoring of what Jerry was playing. It had that very much bow, ba-bow, ba-bow, bow in there.
Mm.
After which Jerry tells an audience member, "You're bothering my drummer," which was very funny. So I think set one takes a little bit of time to get going, but from at least Dark Star onwards, there's no bad song. Anyway, what did you think, Fig?
Yeah, you know, you've raised an interesting point. Not about the dog suckingest man. We're gonna move away from that. But you know, for as big of a show this was at the Yale Bowl, it did have a very intimate feel with a lot of like interaction between the band. Typically negative, I felt interaction between the band and the audience. Like they were just piled on top of them for no reason. There was hostility.
He was making fun of the crowd for asking for songs.
Yeah. There's some interesting dynamics going on. I don't have too much to say. I'll just start off with, okay, now comparing the 72 show from last week to the 71 show from this week, audio wise, night and day. Like this was a soundboard recording. It was definitely a soundboard recording. I think there may be a matrix out there, so there must be an audience recording as well. But it just, you didn't have that range. It sounded much grungier and kind of like a garage band kind of situation. And that may have been partly the players, but it may have been partly the venue. But you're not going to hear that kind of pristine Europe 72 style, Betty Board style, recording quality in this July 31st, 1971 show.
Yeah.
It was just grungier and it's kind of, it wasn't bad. It's just, I kind of preferred very much that 72 sound. Truckin sounded pretty good. It sounded like they're playing the greatest hit at that point. Although it was sloppy. I think you mentioned why. Sugaree, this one just took a while to get started. I don't think I realized it was the first one ever. I just wrote that it just kind of lumps along. Mr. Charlie was good. I like Mama Tried. Big River Blues. This one gets pretty fun. Yeah, and then they talk about Bobby spilling his coffee on this guitar. Playin In The Band. This was interesting. So, like, and I think Knob, you mentioned this last week, how a lot of times there's just there's a long there's a lot of nothing between songs where they're, changing a string or tuning up or just talking or
Absolutely.
whatever.
The old
Yeah,
joke
and
is that electric tuners killed the San Francisco sound.
yeah, they were kind of getting to where they needed to go at like a gingerly pace. But it kind of had an interesting payoff with Playing in the Band. I wrote that this one descends on the listener like a blanket. Like all of a sudden,
Yeah.
it just comes on you. Even though this was a quick Playing in the Band, I don't even think I had a short jam. I just think this was kind of like an Ace Bob Weir solo
Yeah.
album, Playing in the Band. It just kind of happens, and it was good. But it's not one of those like when I first saw this set list, I saw Playing in the Band into Darkstar. I was like, wow, like two showcase
Yeah.
jams, and it was not that at all. It was just here's Playing in the Band, and also here's Darkstar. I
Hmm.
wrote that Darkstar was generally dramatic and unsettling, and I wrote like walking through Hades. And I probably felt that way because I'm now playing the video game Hades.
Nice.
So
How
it,
far
it
into it are you?
not very. I don't really know what's happening, but I
I've
really
never
want to
played it. I
play.
was just trying to make
Oh yeah.
video game conversation.
Well, let me tell you all about it. No, it's cool. Like I'm not a huge like I like the hack and slash. Like that's kind of fun for me.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan or don't have much know-how about like the roguelite or whatever it's called. But I love Greek mythology, so it's like why have I? And I like story-based games, so it's like why have I not played this game? Because
Yeah.
it's essentially like reading mythology. It's so cool. But moody, right? And it was moody like this Darkstar. Until we get to that Feeling Groovy jam. Really nice 4/4 major scale resolve to all that. And we get into a bird song. You kind of have to have a pretty resolve to go into the bird song, which was a very nice and very pretty version of that. El Paso, Billy plays this one with a stuttery rhythm. I felt like I wrote that it kind of gives it a sea shanty vibe. So
Hmm.
maybe I was not really vibing on that El Paso. Hard to handle. Yeah, the dog suckiness man in show business. I promised you I wouldn't mention that again, but here I go. This is a nice type performance. Oh, and then at the end, we get the roadie from Wayne's World 2 announce that people shouldn't be climbing behind the stage.
That's Sam Cutler, I think.
Oh, that's Sam Cutler?
I believe so.
Okay.
It's a
So he's
British
like,
man working for the dead,
you shouldn't
not
be
to
going
profile.
back
He's the
there.
one.
And then Bob's like, yeah, like if you mess things up back there, we can't play. Just kind of leveling with people here. We get a loser. I don't have much for that. Also, I don't have much for Bobby McGee. They probably could have ended things after that hard to handle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we had two more. This is a long show, and
It is.
truthfully, I'm gonna take set two because I don't have too much.
Sure.
As far as hot takes, we have a Bertha into a big boss man. Me and my uncle deal China Rider. Sing Me Back Home. Sugar Mags. Casey Jones. Not Fade Away. Going on the Road Feeling Bad. Darkness Jam. Not Fade Away. And then I don't think I listened to the encore. Uncle John's Band into Johnny Be Good. Okay, Bertha. I wrote that this was a garage band version. Jerry's guitar really soars on the solo here. Probably my favorite of his from the evening. Big Boss Man. I wrote this was a good Pigpen song. At the end, Bob Weir says, "This one's for all you homicidal maniacs out there," and goes into Me, My Uncle, which is kind of cool. That's a good way of. That's a good synopsis of Me, My Uncle.
He said homicidal morons.
Oh yeah, you're right. I wrote Maniacs. That was me. Yeah. Okay. So it's like a tale of woe. Me and my uncle, which he does kill his uncle for like some gold.
True. He like
Bobby
got us
then
down the side of
breaks.
the road.
Bobby breaks a string, and Jerry comes on the mic and like declares it to the entire audience. He's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby broke a string, so we're gonna fix that." And then I promised myself I would go back and figure out how long it takes Bobby to change a string because we literally heard him place the string on ding 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 ding, and
That's a killer impression of a guitar
thank you.
string being put on.
It's pretty good because I'm a bassist and I don't break many strings, but I've been around guitars. But it's probably me making fun of guitarists who break strings. That's probably
Absolutely.
what that is.
No.
That was a ribbing right
I
there.
felt hurt, but you got me, you know?
All right, yeah. Deal. I wrote, holy shit, this is bonkers. Jerry has some amazing playing with great full tone, and we get some Phil Lesh walking bass line, which is also sweet. China was clappy, a lot of clapping going on. So again, like a very intimate feel to this bowl show.
Yeah.
This was big and in your face, and then it kind of pulls back from all that kind of bravado in the jam into Rider, which was good. And then the rest I don't have much for. I did listen to the Not Fade Away, Going Down the Road Feeling Bad, Darkness Jam, Not Fade Away. It was good. I don't have much to say about it. Set to could have stood a couple more listens for me. So I'm going to pass it over to Knob.
I really liked set 2. When I say that from Dark Star onward, there's kind of no bad song, I kind of mean that through the rest of the show. I thought the Bertha was spectacular. I put this Bertha on my list of very good Berthas. At this point, Bertha is less than 6 months old, but the band have turned it into a well-oiled machine. Jerry is killing it on his guitar solos, which is really great, but just listen, when you listen to this, to how tight Phil, Bob, and Bill are underscoring him. It's great. I really like the Big Boss Man. Pigpen is having so much fun fronting the band, and it just brings the best out of everybody. A very tight but hot solo section. Me and My Uncle is nice and dedicated to all you homicidal morons out there. Much like this episode of the Help on the Way podcast.
Are you fishing for a show title there?
I don't know. I just didn't really have anything about this song, so I thought I would go for a joke. Let me know if that approach worked for you, the listener. Anyway. Last week I bemoaned not really getting early deals. This works for me. There is a grit to it that I find missing from the 72 deals that I really liked. And again, a lot of hot solos from Jerry tonight, and it continues on into this deal. The China Rider is really solid. I don't have much to say, but I like it. A very groovy China Cat. And I feel like this Rider, we're not quite in the 72 countrified I Know You Rider just yet. We still have a foot in the 66, 60s pop, psych rock version that the early Dead would do. I thought it threaded that needle very interestingly. The ending I found to be a little rocky, but I felt like it overall worked. I thought that Sing Me Back Home would sound more hollow without Donna, but it really didn't. I thought that Jerry, Bob, and Phil were able to fill that in very well. Jerry sounds great. It's because, don't get me wrong, it is a hollower, I don't mean that negatively, but a hollower sound than you will get in the Fall 72 Sing Me Back Homes. But this is the kind of song that is an intimate little story, and I think the sparseness works. It is much quieter than you will ever hear in a 72 Sing Me Back Home, and I thought it really worked. Sugar Mag then just explodes right from the jump and remains fast and furious, straight into Sunshine Daydream. No held out pause before that, just straight into it. The crowd goes nuts for Casey Jones, and they're right to be. I thought it was really good. It starts nice and groovy and gets stronger and stronger. This to me just feels like the kind of song that is perfect for this lineup of the Dead. It is the kind of song that you can play with 4 or 5 musicians, and it sounds really good, and it is primarily about the energy, and this version of the Dead is really good at channeling energy. Not Fade Away is tight. The transition into Going Down the Road Feeling Bad is fairly mellow, and I don't mean that as criticism, because I like it. It's just mellower than I'm used to in this situation. But once it gets going, it rocks. I put this Going Down the Road Feeling Bad on my list of Going Down the Road Feeling Bads, and that includes the Darkness Jam.
Your pantheon of Going Down the Road Feeling Bads?
Yeah, it's up there. I mean, a lot of it is. I really like what they're calling the Darkness Jam, which is like the extended And We Bid You Good Night jam that Jerry and the band will do at the end of Going Down the Road. Here, they keep it going for 2 or 3 minutes. And it's very pretty and very soft. And then once again, it's able to build. And the ending, to me, sounds like a proto Jack Straw. To me, it's very much got that bam bam ba bam bam ba da da
Right.
da. It's not all of those notes, but it has a very similar feel to it. My only gripe with this Going Down the Road Feeling Bad is that the tape gets kind of messed up towards the end of it, just as the jam is really peaking. We then get to the Uncle John's. It's a rocky start, but the jam is really good. As soon as they can stop singing harmonies, it's a really good performance of the song Uncle John's Band. And then we get into a Rockin' Johnny Be Good, which, truth be told, is the perfect way to end this show. And they rock it. It's very good. I like the second set a lot.
Hell yeah. You like the second set, so I'm going to mark that down. Would this make your Book of the Dead knob?
Oh, I don't know. 2 definitely does.
Book of second sets?
It's definitely in the Book of Second Sets. It's just such a rocky start.
Yeah.
And I find there to be a lot of interesting music in set 1, but I don't know if I can fully put it in my Book of the Dead.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I really liked, well, obviously, last week's show. And in comparison, I think this is, I agree. I think there's a lot of good moments in this. I think this is really good music. However, in comparison to another show that would have been in my Book of the Dead, this kind of pales in that comparison. So I'm going to say no. But however, I will agree with you on the second set. I thought the first set was plagued with nerves.
Yes.
I thought it was ballsy of them to play Dark Star in that first set. Seeing as where, like,
fascinatingly early.
Kudos to them for trying it. Like, can you just imagine, like having that kind of start where Big Railroad Blues, in my opinion, was the best thing you played.
Yeah.
2 new songs, things are rocky, and you're like, well, let's improvise for 25 minutes in front of 16,000 people or however many people were there. Pretty ballsy stuff.
It's ballsy, and I also ultimately think necessary because I think Dark Star is the first time the band relaxed. They needed to play a song like that to go, okay, here's what we're really good at. And this is a crowd that loves, Live Dead and has heard that. So let's give it to them. And yeah, it was definitely, it felt very early in the show, but I do ultimately think that this show is as good as it is because they play Dark Star as early as they do.
Right. Do you have a Mother Trucker in that case?
Oh yeah, it's Jerry. All of the songs that I kept writing down as songs that stood out to me were it's Jerry songs. It's Big Railroad. It is Dark Star. It is Bertha. It is Casey Jones. It is Loser. Like it is.
Yeah, it's a Jerry night. I'll agree with you on the Jerry front. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so moving right along. No Reddit comments. Truthfully, we had this show up only for a couple days here on Reddit with the holiday season. The next show, which, spoiler alert, we may be just recording a quick one right after this about the next show, was March 9th.
Can't shatter the illusion. We record every episode live as you, the listener, are listening to it.
Regardless of if we have family obligations.
No, I don't care about the logistics. It is always live, but only for you. That's the Help on the Way guarantee.
Yeah, our scores of listeners. This is March 9th, 1992 in Landover, Maryland, which may be an official release. I'm not quite sure. This one also has a Dark Star, which I listened to, which I'll talk about at the next show.
Yes.
Or the next recording. There's not too much to talk about there right now. Okay, so let's do some housekeeping. If y'all like what we're doing, as we say every week here, please smash that subscribe button. You got to smash it. Like and share, leave a comment, do what you got to do to promote the pod. We love you. You can find us wherever podcasts are downloaded, including Spotify, although I think we're kind of petering off with Spotify here. You can follow us at our website, which is helponthewaypod.podbean.com. You may email us at helponthewaypod@gmail.com. We are always stickied right up at the top at reddit.com/r/Grateful Dead, the official Grateful Dead subreddit. And we are on YouTube. You can also catch us on YouTube. It's youtube.com/helponthewaypod. And I'm going to kick it over to Knob as I do every week to talk about Blue Sky.
Yes, we're on Blue Sky. I'm there. After last week's show, I'm on a big Fall 72 kick. So I'm
Nice.
posting about Fall 72 shows all the time. We had some thrilling discussion today about whether or not Chloe Sevigny was the first person to reference acid while inducting someone with a Kennedy Center honor.
Nice.
I'd be willing to bet that that's the case. So we're there, and you should follow us. I'm very nice and friendly, and I like talking to you, dear listener. Thank you for tuning in to the Help on the Way Holiday Spectacular, and from all of us, who
We
wish
wish
you a
you a
Merry
Jerry
Christmas.
Christmas. We wish
you a
you a
Merry
Jerry
Christmas.
Christmas.
We
We
wish
wish
you
you
a
a
Merry
Jerry Christmas
Christmas
and
and a
a
happy
happy
Bob
Bob
Weir.
Weir.
Oh, I hope that sounded as good for you, dear listener, as it did to us recording it over Discord.
That's going to be weird. Regardless of what that sounded like, we know that you will get something out of set 2 of July 31st, 1971, which is coming your way. And on behalf of myself and on behalf of Knob, we do wish you a Jerry Christmas and a happy Bob Weir. And we thank you for listening to another episode of the Help on the Way podcast. Testing.
Trying to see what's going down. Lord, try to read between the lines. I had a feeling I was falling, falling, falling. Lord, I turned around to see where the boys are calling, calling, calling. You was running back to me. Really had to do. That's why in the beats I am on my bend knees. Bertha, don't you come around here, boy. Ran into a rainstorm. I back into a fire. I saw that falling, but not a drop for me. Test me, why don't you arrest me? No man can't until the sun goes down. I had to move, really had to move. That's why it begins. I'm on my bed knees. Bertha, don't you come around here anymore. That's why if you please, I'm on my bending knees. Bertha, don't you come around here anymore. Really had to move. That's why if you please, I'm on my bending knees. Bertha, don't you come around here anymore. Big balls swing. Can't you help me when I call? Big balls swing. Can't you help me when I call? You just all you homicidal morons out there. And turn off the monitors while you're at it. Yeah, that'd be a treat. That'd be a real treat. Put a little more of that rolling bass on mine, too. A little more of that rolling bass.
Happy birthday to Gus. See ya. Hear him?
I'd like to hear just a little more of that. Because I got a question. I gotta ask, hey, do you think I have a deep voice? Kind of husky?
Hey, why don't you try a little bit of Casey Joe?
Anyway.
Oh! Casey Joe! No! Bobby McGee.
Me and my uncle
Last
went right down.
line of the song was that.
West Texas band. We stopped over.
Side of the road.
We sent a fight.
Dead
In the
end.
morning. Just about that way.
I don't know.
I took the horses up to the stall. Went to the barroom, ordered drinks for all. 2 days in the saddle, my body hurt. It's been summer, lots of gold my shirt. And I tried to walk off some of that dust and dirt. West Texas cowboy, they all around. We bring money, they load it down. Soon as they did, don't seem ashamed. You know my uncle, he started friendly game. And I know exactly when it's at started running, that boy's got a soul. Woman will call him, and 2 more. Accused of cheating, well no, it couldn't be. My uncle, he's as honest as me. I'm as honest in the man to do that. He starts the dog. I shot him down, but he never saw. Shot him another, my baby won't go. I'm scared to go. These hot babies down the window. Those cowboys, I'll never go. But my uncle, God rest his soul. Taught me good love, taught me all I know. Taught me so well, so I can't let go. Now let's just get it, everybody's on the road.
Broke a string. Rear broke a string.
Thanks a lot. Bobby just broke a string. We're going to do a little string repairs here.
You always breaks one.
No.
Costs a lot to win and even more to lose. You and me better spend some time wondering what to choose. Goes to show you don't ever know. Watch each card you play, play it slow. Wait till that deal come round. Don't you let that deal go down, no, no. I've been gambling hereabouts for 10 good solid years. If I told you about all that went down, it would burn off both your ears. So you don't never know. Watch each card you play, play it slow. Wait till that deal come out. Don't you let that deal go down, no, no. that you go down. To let you come out. Don't you let that you go down. No, no.
Connecticut.
Look for a while at the chair. Get some bottle down. Morgan jingle in the midnight sun. Now, but don't hold it, drink for silver. Come on, I like a crave. To build a star down to a dream that will. Peeking through a lace bandana like a one. I treasure like a dime in my jam. Of all colors, ways are golden. Beat up to a double. You wanna fall over my head. We put colors on the back, or in the river diarrhea, not a words from our seal. John, I rang the side of bound beneath the shower of pearls in the eagle, winged palace of the queen. Shine.
I wish I was a headlight on a northbound train. I wish I was a headlight on a northbound train. I'd shine my light through the cool Colorado rain. The warden led the prisoner down the hallway to his doom. And I stood up to say goodbye like all the rest. And I heard him tell the warden just before they reached my cell that my guitar playing friend sing my request. A song I used to hear. Make my old memories come alive. before I die. I recall last Sunday morning when a choir from on the street came in to sing a few old gospel songs. And I heard him tell the singers there's a song my mama sang. Could I hear it once before you travel on? Song I used to hear. Make my old memories come alive. Away and turn back the years. Sing me back home before I die. Led the prisoner down the hallway to his doom. I stood up to say goodbye like all the rest. And I heard him tell the warden just before they reached my cell that my guitar playing friend sing my requiem. head. Come alive. Sing me away and turn back the years. Sing me back home before I die. Sing me back home before I Magnolia, Paso, Bertha, it's all empty and I don't care. Don't must be down by the river. You should have to come up super there. Woo! Woo! You must come on to the river. We can have our time to the vine. We can discover the wonders of nature, rolling in the rushes down by the riverside. She's got everything I know. She's got everything I need. Next to wheel when I sing double. Pays my ticket when I speak. She can sing at the rages of violet. She can wait in a drop or two. She don't come like no more. Waits backstage while I sing to you. She can dance and play jungle rhythm. Not like a winner, it's a four-wheel drive. She must have a love of a spring for the middle. She can make out in and out of night. She can sing over. Women that blues, walk out of the sunlight.
Reach you in the dark. We're going where the wind goes. It's moving like a red rose. Rolling on a swing there. When I'm free, I walk you into more sunshine. More sunshine, baby. More sweet brother, baby. More North, baby. Cool off my baby. Oh, my sweet brother, baby. Oh, my sunshine, baby. Cool off my baby. Cool off my baby. We throw a daydream.
Good loving.
bed. Going down the road, feeling bad. Going down the road, feeling bad. Yeah. Wanna be treated so well. Going where the water tastes like wine. Going where the water tastes like wine. Going where the water tastes like wine. Don't wanna be treated this way. Going down the road, feeling bad. Going down the road, feeling bad. Going down the road, feeling bad. Don't wanna be treated this way. would be. Oh, what I want to know. Will you come with me? Don't ever light me there. Have you seen the light? There was a builder down that house. Their motto is no check on me. Come here, Uncle John's band, turning to the time. Come with me or go alone. Please come, make his children home.
Testing, testing. The time is now 25 minutes to 12. I'm going to cut the speed in half. 25 minutes to 12, and there doesn't seem to be any sign of the Grateful Dead coming back this evening. I haven't seen them do an encore in approximately since last September, in fact. So I kind of doubt they'll do one. The crowd looks real neat. Just a whole mountainside of people here. But I doubt if I do an encore. Correction, I do remember them doing an encore at Fillmore the last night. But that was an extraordinary set of circumstances, so I don't think it matters. I really doubt whether they'll come out. Well, the people don't seem to be moving. Well, we'll report back to you later. How about that? So it's now about 5 minutes later, and they turned on not Bob Dylan at least, but I don't think they will be coming out.